All right, you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. So what we're gonna do is, you guys on the video are gonna have to pay attention because we are going to do this together. And at least it's pretty much, I don't know, the smartest lab partner around. Right?
Yeah?
And the humblest as well. Yeah, appreciate that, thank you. All right, so what we're gonna do first is we are going to, what we call standardize this. So in here we're gonna have this NaOH, and the NaOH has been provided. Steps 1 through 10, I believe. Let me grab my book. I have completed steps 1 through 9, okay? We will start on step 10 because Mr. Denton wanted to save us some time, so we're gonna do this, alrighty? So what you need to do is, I'm gonna rinse these. I need you to measure out, how much?
0.3 to
0.3 to 0.4. So what I would do is I would use these, and I would take, and this is my KHP, I would take it and I would make 3 of these. And they need to be between 0.3 and 0.4, and we will have to give them those numbers. And I will rinse these out, and we will use these 3 to do our first titration. Okay? You mass them, I'm gonna wash them. So what's your first mass gonna be?
So do we have to, so I zeroed it out. Do
Yeah.
we have to do the container plus the sample, or?
Yeah, but did you zero it out?
Yeah, when I
So then
put it
just
on
start
there.
at 0.
Okay.
Right? So the mass of our first sample is gonna be 0.39 grams. Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah.
Okay, so you just keep going, and I will take and put this in here and get this dissolved so that we can do our titration. Now, I don't know if you guys can see, but I am actually gonna rinse this boat right in there, so all of the stuff that was left stuck to the paper I'm gonna get. I noticed as the students did this, some of them missed that, and so some of their stuff was left dissolved. So the first one was 0.39, the second one is 0.31, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Alrighty. And the last one is gonna be 0.34, right?
Yeah.
And that is all gonna go in table 13.1. Alrighty, so now it says to add a little bit of water to this, just so we make sure we get it nice and dissolved. And another thing that a lot of students messed up is that they forgot, they didn't get it all dissolved. So you gotta make sure it's dissolved, that way when you titrate it, you're getting a good value. Now, next part is we gotta put some phenolphthalein in, right? That's the indicator. Now you guys have worked with phenolphthalein before. It is the stuff that made it go pink. This PP right here, this is phenolphthalein, correct? Isn't that what's next?
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna you need is a couple of drops. Okay, what I need to do is I need you to swirl these really good and get them all dissolved. I'm gonna fill this. Now, inside this burette, not burette, is sodium hydroxide. And this is what it wanted you to prepare in parts 1 through 9. Now I already did that, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to top this off so that we can get ready to titrate it. Alright, so alrighty, so now in our volume or our Erlenmeyers, you've got 3 different samples of this KHP, this potassium hydrogen phthalate, and we're going to titrate it with this. Each mass corresponds, and I think we just screwed up, but we'll fix it. So we probably need to know which one's which, because it'll tell us which one is the, so we're going to have these, but we'll be able to figure out which one takes the most. The one that takes the least amount is going to be that one. The one that takes the most amount is going to be that one. The one that takes the middle amount. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Alright, so now watch. Hopefully you guys can see this. And I will take and do this, and hopefully it shows up really well. Is put it on a white sheet of paper. Now, what you're going to do is, as we add this, it is going to go pink. You see that pink right there?
Yeah.
Now, notice it's gone. So what happens is that it goes pink in the base. Okay? So, initially, right where it went in, it made it really basic, right? But then as it dispersed, it became acidic again. So now what we're going to do is, because we were close, we're going to turn this and kind of go drop by drop. And you'll see that all it takes is one drop to get this to completely change. Okay, so let down a hair. See how it's taking, see how it lingers a little longer and a little longer?
Yeah.
Whoa. Alrighty, so right there. So then we're at 1, and now we are at 21. So that is 20. So 20.0. Just write that down. So we don't know yet. Remember, just write that up here. So 20.0 milliliters, and that's pretty good. I don't know if you guys can see this. You want it to be as faint, as pink as possible. And, I mean, that's not terrible, not great. That'd be B+ work, okay? So that's one of them. And so now we're going to do it again. And we know that because all our masses are close, it's got to be close to 20 mils again. So we're going to do this again. And do pretty much the same thing. And do it again. Now what I do, because I know it's going to be about 20, I'm just going to crank this down until we get, you know what I mean, close. And alrighty, so then there's that one, a little darker, probably not as good, but that was, we were at 21, now we're at 37.7. So that would be 18.7, right?
Yeah.
So 18.7 mils. There's that one. Probably a little too far, as you can tell. That's a little pinker than it should be. Okay, so now this one. Now if we just do this, what's going to happen? Do you know?
I don't know.
Well, I've only got 12 mils left, right?
Yeah, so it's gonna run out.
I'm gonna run out, and then I'm gonna have to start over, right? So, instead of running that, I know my abouts, I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna fill this up. To do that, I'm gonna pull it to the edge, I'm gonna push that down, I'm gonna slide this down, and then I'm gonna fill it up again. Oh, man. Did it anyway. See what happens when you get in a hurry? Oh, Mr. Denton, gosh. Good thing it's pretty good. Still really something expensive. So, we'll keep going here. Alright, so let's see where we at. We're at point. We're at 0.6. So, guessing we're gonna be, somewhere around 18, right?
Yeah.
So we're gonna run this sucker up. Let's fire it up and see what happens. So, alrighty, so we are right at 17, okay? So again, probably a little pink, but not terrible. That's probably all B minus work, okay? So, wow, that makes perfect sense, except that's gotta go there, right?
Yeah.
So sample 1, that was 0.39 grams, is gonna take 20.0 milliliters, correct?
Yeah.
So then I'd write right here, so that started at 1.00 and went to 21.00, and I'd write down here for 20.00 milliliters. So 0.39 grams, 20.00 milliliters. 0.31 grams, so this would have been 0.6, right? 0.6, and it went down to 17.0. So that gave us 16.4 milliliters, right? So sample 2 is 0.31 grams, and that's 16.4 milliliters. And sample 3 is 0.34 grams, and then we went from those two values, right? 21, started at 21.0 milliliters, went down to 37.7 milliliters, for a total of 18.7. If you look at that, that makes some sense, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And then you will just take that and table it up there.
Okay.
Okay? All right, now, I do want to show you guys this to kind of show you what we've got going on here. Typically, you should get better. I'm going to be honest, I actually think I say we, but I was doing it, so I say I got worse. Now, step 1 was pretty good, but as I got impatient, number 2 wasn't very good, number 3 is even a little darker. To be honest, if we were in a lab, I'd probably fail myself, because it should go the other way. You should start out poorly and progressively get better, but yeah, I'm being a little fast. Okay? All right, now we're going to make vinegar, correct? We're going to lose some vinegar. So what I need you to do is, I need to get another vinegar sample. All right, let's go right here. So we're going to take vinegar. Now, what we're going to do, maybe we better talk about this, is the values you got in table 1, you're going to put in table 2, and then you're going to calculate. And what that's going to allow you to find is it's going to allow you to find the molarity of the solution you have in the burette. Okay? And what you will do with it is that molarity will allow you now to calculate the molarity of the vinegar you're going to make. Okay? So this is what we need to do. I'm going to wash these out. While I'm washing these out, I need you to take 25 mils twice. You're going to take this. Do you remember how to run one of these?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, so watch. You squeeze the A, empties it, slide that on just a little bit, just a little hair, then hit S for suck, and it's going to suck that. Whoa, I hit the wrong thing, dang it. And it's going to suck that up. When you get up to that line, is right there. That's gonna be exactly 25 milliliters, and you're gonna put it in there. Okay, so you do this while I do that. Okay? Alrighty, so.
Oh, please. Oh my gosh, it's so weird that I see you here.
Can I go over my, is this a good time, bad time?
Well, I gotta do this lab.
Okay.
She didn't have a partner,
You
so
can just eat our time
I
then.
have to film this.
I can come in anytime this week, so.
Just keep checking.
Okay.
You drive, right? So it's not like,
No, you're good.
just check before you leave. Sorry, Bella.
No, you're good. Thanks.
Yeah. Alrighty, so that's still your first 25.
Yeah.
Now, if you want, just do this. Just pop that off. And let it drain and then slide it back on. Usually it drains a lot faster. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And then the book says 10, 10, and 100, but we didn't have any hundreds. So we went 25, 25. So we went 50, 50 mils of vinegar in 250 milliliters of water or a solution, which is going to be how we dilute that. Yeah.
I just need, on these ones, is that all I need to write?
So
Or,
I don't know what you missed. What does it ask
well,
you to
I
do?
like,
That's a similarity statement.
yeah, it just says prove that the triangles are
Yeah, no,
similar.
that was the angle part. We got rid of it. You needed to be able to write a correct similarity statement.
Oh,
If
okay.
that's a correct, if you fix that, just make sure, if you missed it, you probably didn't get them right.
Well, yeah, on the first one though, I didn't write a similarity statement, I just like drew the triangles
Oh.
and like put.
Yeah, you needed the similarity statement, I'm pretty sure.
Okay, so is that
Yeah,
just all?
probably.
Okay.
Yeah, staple it to the front, put it in the left basket. Alrighty, so now, because we used a pipette, there is exactly 50 milliliters of vinegar in here. So we're gonna take that and we're gonna add water. We're gonna add water up to that line, and that's gonna give us exactly 250 milliliters of solution. Now at this point it says to put this in a beaker or something else. You don't need to. We're just gonna go right out of the volumetric. When you get to the top, don't overfill this. So what I do is I just get it close, and then I take my spray bottle. Oh, don't set that right in front of the camera. I take my squeeze bottle, and I just top that sucker off. You want to read that meniscus and tell me how close I am?
Yeah, it's like right on.
Right on? Okay. Alrighty, so there we go. Now, this is now dilute, because we diluted the vinegar. This is dilute vinegar. Okay? Now, what we're going to do is the vinegar is acetic acid. It is going to take the place of the KHP, and we're going to do the exact same thing. So I believe it says to take out, I believe yours says 10. We're going to take out, is it 25? So, yes, it's used the res 10 millipipe, so we're going to put, except it says 10. Everywhere it says 10, we're going to use 25. So we're going to take this, make sure it's mixed up, and you're going to pull 25 mils out. And you're going to put it in each one of these three. And we're going to do the exact same thing we did before, except now we're doing it with vinegar instead of the KHP. So use that, just put 25 in each one of those, and we will do that. Okay, see you guys. Hey Pomeroy, tell your sister I said hey.
I will.
All right, now in the book it says to add more water to this, but to be honest, that's when they were doing 10 mils. We've got 25. Adding water is not going to change it. I think there's enough volume there that we can just go with this. We cannot forget though to add our phenolphthalein. So I'm going to add some phenolphthalein right here. I believe it says 3 drops. So I got my 3 drops there, and we'll be good to go. So that is 1. These will all be the same, so I don't think it matters which one comes first. Sometimes it's hard to get right at that, isn't it?
Yeah.
Keep twisted sideways, use the point.
Okay.
As long as you don't twist it too hard and snap the end. And I'd have to fire you. Where are you? We have a bunch of kids in here. And there's 2. Again, we need some phenolphthalein. Had some kids go through a whole tube and realize they forgot to put their phenolphthalein in, which it'll never change color if you don't do that. Watch this. It sprays out like 3 different ones on the tip of this. Alrighty, so, and this is number 3. So now, these three Erlenmeyers each have the diluted, the 50 and 250 vinegar. And now we're going to do the exact same thing. We're going to titrate them. And remember, we want them to be as faint pink as possible. So, what we're going to do is we're just going to fire this sucker up and get it going. So, read it. Oh, we got to read it first. We got to read it. So we're at exactly 17 ml. So for our vinegar titration, we're going to start at, so volume of diluted vinegar, that is 25 milliliters. So this is all table 13.1. You can go right across. Sample 1, sample 2, and sample 3 will all be 25 milliliters. You can actually have a 0.0 because that pipette's exact.
Okay.
So it'd be 25.0. Now, the initial burette reading on this one is 17.0 milliliters. 17.0 milliliters. Now, Elise is going to titrate this until it's as faint and pink as possible.
Sorry, you're recording right now.
Yeah, so,
I can come back
well,
later.
no, for kids that.
Liam Ruckles, come to the office, please. Liam Ruckles to the office.
We definitely have a favor. We want to be family and her, even on the Tuesday. This is on the Tuesday, okay? So yeah, I'm just wondering, we would do a favor if you could make it on the side, both sides. And then,
Tuesday.
yeah, we should say Tuesday, yes.
I'm here every day.
Otherwise, I have to start now. Why don't you?
So I've only got.
Okay, well, I'll bring you the paper as soon as I get Jeff to sign it.
Okay.
Thanks.
So I
Not
used-
making it?
Yeah, I used all of it and it's not.
Well, that sucks. So that trial is scrapped. We had 33 mils.
Yeah.
Wow. That's crazy. It's funny because one of my other groups did the same thing. They used like 49 mils before theirs changed color. Huh. And you watched me put in I put in everything, didn't I?
Yeah.
Well, let's try it again then. Let's do this. I'm curious. No, we were so close. So close. And I was just guessing. So obviously, you went 33. Or you went, 33, right?
Yeah.
Well, more than that because this isn't even calibrated. So you probably went 37, 38. So we're probably close to 40. But that will help us get an idea now of where to go with the next one, right?
Yeah.
All right, so let's fill this back up. We'll probably have to fill it up between each trial now. That way we don't, do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We don't want to have that happen again. That's weird. I didn't think there was any way. Oh, man. Yeah, that sucks. Good thing I got plenty of this. I make a whole bunch. Alrighty, so. Positive I put, well, I know I had filling in that. So, let's start again. So this is still gonna be sample 1, but we'll have to change that. So scratch sample 1. So we got a new sample 1, so just change that from 17 mils to .20 mils. So we got .20 mils. And just do it again, and I will get this other one ready so we can do it again. Close, right?
Yeah.
That makes sense because we said about 40, right? Yeah, and if you swirl it a little bit, it helps mix it up a little bit. Alright, so that's that. So B plus work. Good job, Elise. Yeah, that works. Alrighty, so sample 1, 25 mils of your vinegar, and you started at 0.20 milliliters, finished at 45.5 milliliters. And here comes sample 2, but what do we probably need to do? Yeah, refill that sucker up. You feel comfortable with that?
Yeah.
Slide it over. Just slide it off the edge. Now pull that thumb out and slide the burette down. The reason I do that is because then I'm not pouring above my face. That way if it spills, it doesn't end up in my eyes. That's logical, right? Alrighty, so here is the NaOH. Now the other thing you want to do is you want to hold this up a little bit with your thumb and finger. So if you sit it tight, it creates a vacuum, then it just goes everywhere. So just hold that up a hair and pour it in there. Nice and slow, yep. It's pretty diluted, alright. Now, if you go over, not a big deal, because all we got to do is drain that out. So there's been a couple of options here. So what I saw some kids do is I saw them just take this over there. What I would do is I would just find like the Erlenmeyer we used here, and this one's done. We've already got the data for it. Just run this into there and then dump it out. So let's go. Alrighty, so we're at 0.9. So we're at 0.9. Let's do that again. Alrighty, so for sample 2, we're starting at 0.9 milliliters, and she is going to titrate number 2, and I'm positive I put this in there, but just to be safe, we're going to do it again, because, yeah, I don't want to make that mistake. Now we have a pretty good idea, right?
Yeah.
So if they're all truly accurate, we should need about 44 mils, right?
Yeah. Ooh, close. Ooh. That's a good one. Fill that back up for you. Alrighty, now this is what you're after. Now it's probably pretty hard to see that, but that's pretty faint pink. You know, if anybody knows Owl House, tell her Mr. Denton. Well, tell her at least got an A, even though we both know that's a lie. That's A minus work, but that's nice. This is what I want to see. It's a joke. You weren't in class, but yeah. Okay, that's what we want to see, as faint a pink as possible. Oh, crap. Did you read that? Oh no.
Got to read it. Read it first, okay? Don't forget to get your final reading.
46.5 mils, alrighty. So, well, that's pretty close. Yeah, that's good. At least it's consistent, that's what we wanna see. Alright, so here comes trial 3.
So it went like a little bit above the line, so we just.
Yeah, so then what I would do is, like, I even saw kids do this, they just took a test tube. Just ran that down. Let's go with .1. .1 on that. Hey, Kenny. Alrighty, so here comes our last sample. So you wanna titrate that? Close though, isn't it? Let's say pretty close. Set that down on there. Yeah, I'd say stop right there. Shake that sucker, swirl that up good. And another really good one. If you're looking at this, again, just the faintest pink color, that's what we want. That's a pretty good equivalent point, okay? Alright, so leave that.
$44.9.
44.9, and I concur. Alright, so now, I think the rest of this is stuff you have to calculate, right? Go back to the front page of that. Alrighty, so, this is what I need you to do. I need you to go over there, and, yeah, 'cause this will be all stuff you calculate. So I need you to show them this page, make sure you get it on the screen, and then show them right out here, put, like, right, total volume used or something.
Okay.
Does that make sense? You'll need that again down there, but show them, so we can just show them that table.
Yeah, wait, so total volume used like.
Yeah, so just right here, right, volume
Okay.
NaOH. Okay, and then show them this, and show them that, and they can do all the other calculations by themselves. Okay, and just try to make sure you get them on my screen, okay? Explain to them what that is, will you?
Yeah, so this is table 13.1. That was the standardization of sodium hydroxide solution, and on the bottom is the volume of NaOH that was used. It's table 13.3 for the vinegar solution.
That should You get everything?
Yeah.
Okay. Alrighty, there you go. That is lab number 13.